Hi guys, welcome to Wahala Nade, the home of African movie recaps. Let's get straight into the Wahala.
Today's movie is called Lucky Star. Alfred is a rich man's son who is celebrating with his friends when his father walks in. Alfred is celebrating because his results have improved from 15 to 80 out of 400, but his father is still angry at his poor performance. Alfred walks out on his father only for his father to follow him. Alfred doesn't see any importance in education as he wants to be a musician, but his father gives him a warning that if his results don't improve he will cut him off. But Alfred doesn't take his father seriously. Mary is also celebrating her results as she has graduated with first-class honors. But they still have rent issues as the landlord is pressuring them. Unforeseen tragedy happens as Mary's mother is involved in a car accident and Mary has to raise $400,000 for her mother's operation. On getting home, the landlord threatens to send them out of their house. Luckily, Alfred's father has advertised a job position for a tutor for his son and Mary comes across it. The amount being offered would be enough to settle Mary's problem, so she instantly decides to interview among 4 others. To reduce the number of interviewees, Alfred's father places a demand that he will pay the said amount when his son's results come out the next year. This forces almost all the interviewees to step out except Mary, who accepts the job. But she ends up returning home to find her place locked up. Her friend comes to her aid, allowing Mary to stay with her. And so, Mary starts her teaching job the next day, but Alfred dodges her, not coming down for lessons. So Mary leaves to see her mom. Her friend then convinces Mary to return and try to teach Alfred. Alfred, even though being cautioned about misusing Mary's time, doesn't hear and continues dodging Mary during their lesson time, so Mary takes the initiative and goes looking for him. Because of Alfred's disinterest, Mary makes a compromise that she will listen to his recorded music if he will take time to do his lessons, but soon regrets it and leaves the room after listening to his rubbish music. But because of the urgency of the money, she goes back to convince Alfred, and he does leave his room only to play with his food. It reached a point Mary became frustrated and stuffs food into Alfred's mouth. But they end up not having the lesson as Alfred goes to his room. At the hospital, Mary's mother's health is becoming more critical. So Mary decides to return and convince Alfred to study only for him to demand Mary to dance to his song, then he will attend her lesson. But Alfred's interest in studies is still lacking. The next day Mary offers to clean his room so they can start their lesson early, but Alfred keeps throwing things around to make things harder for Mary. Then later Alfred walks out on her during their lesson. Mary decides to talk to Alfred's father to at least give her some money for the lessons she has done, but he stands by his earlier statement. So Mary continues to try to get Alfred to study, but he is still arrogant about his studies. Mary becomes angry and shouts at him before walking out heartbroken. But Mary's words have shaken Alfred up and he starts to think about his future. He even decides to look for her even though he doesn't find her. When Alfred finally finds her, the worst has happened. Mary's mother has passed away, breaking Mary down the more. For the first time, Alfred is speechless even to his father. This event has changed Alfred and he decides to take his studies seriously. Every day, he would go to look for Mary, and every day she would not open the door for him, let alone talk to him. Seeing Alfred's persistence and Mary's devastating behavior, Mary's friend advises her to go back to teaching Alfred. Alfred reaches home and his father inquires about his whereabouts lately, only to be informed about Mary's mother's passing and feeling devastated. But he also gets a glimpse of Alfred that same night and realizes that something has changed in Alfred as he is more focused now on his studies. And so, he visits Mary to persuade her to return to teach Alfred, but she refuses. In the end, her friend finally convinces her and she goes back. A studying Alfred welcomes her with a hug, escorting her inside. But when he tries to apologize, Mary ignores him and goes straight to the lesson. Alfred's father also decides to give Mary the $5 million even before his son has undertaken his exams because of the improvement, and their lessons continue. During the test day, Mary and Alfred's father drop Alfred and head home to wait on him. In the evening, he returns with the news of scoring 285, of which everyone rejoices. As a reward for Mary's assistance, Alfred's father got Mary a job. The moral of the story is life is hard, but never give up even when all hope is lost. Where there is life, there's hope.